I put a whammy bar on that.
Whoa, dude, your guitar intro.
I don't even mind. I don't mind. That was really
I like
doing that. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
Listen, friends, so much is going on today.
Are you drunk?
I'm not drunk.
Oh.
Is that what you said?
I asked you if you're drunk, and you said I'm not drunk, which means you're drunk. Claire, I told you, no afternoon whiskey for the rigs.
This microphone is also a breathalyzer.
And it's going off.
Gin is not whiskey.
Dude.
Yeah, gin's not whiskey.
Are you afternoon ginning?
There, I just blew into it.
Uh-huh.
And
I see the red light.
the monitor right here. See, I'm in the limit.
What's the limit?
Take it
Oh, God.
to the limit. One more time. Hey,
Yes.
we have a very cool guest.
We do have a very cool guest.
We have a very cool guest.
We have a fantastic guest.
And he has made a new show on Apple TV with Vince Vaughn, Michelle Monaghan,
Rob Delaney.
and Rob Delaney. I mean, that's a...
It's a hit squad.
Yeah. Of course, we are talking about...
Bad Monkey.
Well, that's the name of the show.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about Alex Moffat.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Bad Monkey that stars Alex Moffat.
Yes.
And we get to talk to him today.
I know. I'm really excited. He's a SNL alum. I'm probably going to get to see him in person at the 50-year celebration.
Do you have that like kinship with other cast members, like even cast members who are like really, really in the past?
No, I wouldn't say there's any kinship, any special thing, but it is kind of one of those things. I was on the show very limited. Other people were on the show very limited. Some people had long runs, some people had short runs. There's crossover and all this stuff. But there is a kind of a little thing where,
Like a fraternity.
the show's been on the air for 50 years. And in that 50 years, I don't even know the exact number, but I'm sure it's like 100 and something, probably 170, 180 cast members.
Wow.
And that's it.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot for
Of people.
50 years. That's not a lot. And I might be over guessing, I might be under guessing, but it's somewhere in that. I'm guessing that's the ballpark.
Am I going to see you and Alex Moffat do a secret handshake with your face?
Look, I can't give away. I can't talk too much.
All right.
Okay? But
I'm going to watch.
okay.
You don't have to say anything.
Good, because I can't.
I understand.
Okay.
But I think that I'm going to be able to witness something that people don't see a lot when you see Alex. That there's going to be some sort of like,
What, like facial?
yeah, like a handshake with your face,
Like a wink and a nod, some
Yeah, a
sort
little
of
bit.
acknowledgement.
an SNL salutation.
You're not accusing us of like Illuminati behavior, are you? Or oh, you are. You are. I can tell by the fact that you didn't answer and that you're still staring. It's not Illuminati.
You
Okay?
sure?
It's just a show on television with cast members from different generations and different time frames that the show has been on. And there's no secret. No, don't. You're winking. You're trying to make it into. No, that's not it. But I will say, Alex is working with Vince Vaughn on this Bad Monkey show, which I love Vince. I had the honor of working with him once before on a movie, and just think the world of him. I think he's super talented.
He seems very talented.
Yeah, he is. He's one of those great actors who can do comedy and drama very well. I like him as a good guy, and I like him as a bad guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to him. Plus, he kind of has that improv and sketch comedy background, and I think anybody's gone down that path, it's similar journeys. Just like you're in the music, people who've gone down music business.
Yeah.
You guys have similar stories and similar haunts and places that you used to go and hang out. And,
Oh yeah.
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 So I'm excited. And also, today, I think, if we have time, and I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time, but today's the day I break the cinder block with my head.
Oh, today?
Today.
I thought it was next week.
Nope, today.
Yes!
So, and
Claire, is it set up out back?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so, and keep your eye on the clock because I don't want to miss it.
Dude, let's bring on Alex.
Yeah, let's bring on Alex, shall we?
All right, and Claire, to the Zoom.
Hey, man, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. You're a busy man.
I suppose so. I mean, we were able to pencil this in, though. Yeah.
Where are you right now?
I am in Brooklyn, New York. Heard of it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard of it.
What part of Brooklyn?
I'm in South Slope,
Okay.
The sort of southern fringe of Park Slope.
Yeah. Beautiful area. I was just a week ago or two. I was in Greenpoint.
Yes, that's Brooklyn.
Yes, very heavy Polish population.
Oh, pierogies?
Yeah, a lot of pierogies.
Okay.
I was jamming down some pierogies.
True. My great-grandfather came here from Poland, didn't move to Greenpoint, but moved to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's usually the Italian crowd
There's
over
a
there.
lot of Italians there.
Yeah.
But he was a Polish butcher there for...
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Where are you guys? Is this L.A.?
Yeah, we're in L.A. right now, a little suburb of L.A.
Yeah, we're in sunny Southern California.
That's right.
Where it's expensive as hell.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's expensive in New York, though.
I know.
Okay.
It's just as bad.
Yeah.
Nah,
No? Not at
Really?
all.
You don't find it...
not for me. No.
That's awesome. You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
You're
Wait,
making
which suburb of LA are you guys in?
We're way out in the sticks, and I say that we're out in Thousand Oaks.
Do you know where that is?
That's further up than Calabasas. If you hit Calabasas, keep going, and you'll hit Thousand Oaks.
Gotcha. It's 1,000 oak trees away from Hollywood.
It's a lot of oak trees. You know what? I think that if you cut down an oak tree here,
You get pinched.
you are done.
Yeah, don't
Towards
do
the murder.
don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't do it. That's a song from Beretta. No big deal.
Nobody knows what that is.
Well, here's what I want people to know. I want people to know about Bad Monkey. Well,
People-
tell me what's going on with Bad Monkey.
Well, first of all, did you guys ever hear, speaking of cutting down trees, and we'll get to Bad Monkey,
Okay, good.
did you guys ever hear about how Mr. T got in a whole bunch of hot water back in like the 80s because he lived in this suburb of Chicago, not far from where I grew up.
Okay.
And before they had any kind of like zoning laws about trees or anything, he bought this big piece of property and then just chopped down every tree on like a two acres of property. And the town was like, Mr. T, you cannot do that. And he was like, there's no law. So now there's like a Mr. T law on the books in this town.
No way.
Where you have to like clear it with the town before you chop your trees down. Anyway,
But what's the suburb? Because I love Chicago suburbs.
Me too. It's a town called Lake Forest.
Oh, Lake Forest, beautiful. Yeah,
Beautiful.
gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I had a bunch of friends that lived, there's all these different, Glen Ellen and Naperville and, Evanston, and they all have these great sections, and it just surrounds Chicago.
Chicago's that's where like 16 Candles and Ferris Bueller, all that stuff was based out there, right?
Yeah, John Hughes had a field day in the suburbs of Chicago in the 80s.
It's John Hughes land.
Yeah.
It is John. They should have like a museum or a monument to John Hughes.
Yeah. The Home Alone house was on the market and it sold for like $5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's a great neighborhood and it's a great house.
And the other comps in the neighborhood are like $800,000. It's just the Home Alone house.
Yeah, that really upped the resale value.
That helps.
It comes with Macaulay Culkin.
That's true. We're gonna get back. I'm coming back to Bad Monkey.
Yeah, because I guess we talked about that plenty.
It was cool. So Bad Monkey.
All right, so Mr. T moves to this town.
Mr. T moves into a treehouse.
Yeah, built from scratch. So Bad Monkey, we shot in the Florida Keys and in a little bit in Miami.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you've checked it out. The first couple of EPs have already dropped on your app.
I apologize, I have not, but I will. That's why I want to hear from the monkey's mouth. I want to hear directly from the bad monkey.
Don't spoil it. Yes, I play the monkey. And I'm
No,
a
what can you tell me about it though? Seriously, what are you? Did you? Well, I have so many questions, but you start.
Great. So let me pitch it to you as I'm trying to sell it. Vince Vaughn. This is a Vince Vaughn. Like, this is primetime Vinsanity. Vince Vaughn. He is at his sort of fast talking best. He's so charming. He's basically like was a detective in the Keys.
Yeah.
And then through a various set of circumstances, he has his badge taken away. So he's sort of a down and out detective. And then first scene of the whole show is a tourist pulls up a severed arm onto like a sport fishing boat, and then they turn the arm in, and then the police basically just want to like write it off as like, yeah, it was somebody just got sucked into their boat's propeller, and what a shame. And then Vince Vaughn thinks that there's foul play, so he starts investigating this potential murder. We don't know what is going on, but it's one of those deals where there's like 15 different plot lines going on at once. Then we also cut over to the Caribbean, and now we're following a storyline there of a guy who is basically living on his like family's land that's about to get taken away. So there's a lot going on, but basically, and I'm great at selling shows, clearly.
I'm interested. I'm interested.
They say an elevator pitch should last at least 18 minutes, just in case you're stuck. But so that's it. It's like crime noir, but funny. It kind of feels like a summer blockbuster, and also feels like a summer beach read all at once. And you got Vince Vaughn at the helm. It's a good time.
Well, yeah, Vince is fantastic, and like you said, when he's at his smooth talking self, that's when he's at his best. Vince Vaughn. He's so enjoyable to watch. Now, your character. Can you tell us about your character?
Sure. So, in all of Carl Hiaasen's books, there's always at least one sort of plot line going on that represents sort of like an environmental thread. And Vince, some person has bought the plot of land next to him in the Keys and put up a giant sort of garish McMansion in hopes to like turn it over and make a quick buck at the expense of the wildlife, at the expense of the local economy, blah, all that stuff. And so I play Evan Shook, who is not from around there and is sort of a wannabe slick realtor, real estate development sales dude. And so I think the audience probably will not like this guy.
But those are the best characters to play.
Oh, it's fun to play a heel. Yeah. God,
Yeah. So not a Florida man. You're not a Florida man. Are you an interloper who comes in? Is that why you're slick?
I'm an interloper. I'm a bit of a carpetbagger in this. Yeah.
Okay.
And how is it? I mean, Vince Vaughn is obviously talented and quick and pretty gnarly as far as the way his mind works. How is that for you when you're working with him? Does it elevate you, or are you just like, whoa, this is a lot?
A little bit of each. I mean, who wouldn't be intimidated sort of going to the ring with Mike Tyson? But he is also an amazing, as like actorly as this is going to sound, he's an amazing like scene partner. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So it was a blast to shoot with Vince.
Yeah.
And we, it was one of those things where, we got what was on the page, and then they would kind of go like, all right, kind of do whatever you guys want, which I'm feeling is sort of what they do with him, whatever he shoots.
Right.
But we had a blast together. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying too, because he is a very gracious scene partner. He'll allow you to shine.
Totally.
Which is pretty awesome for
a true leading man. Doesn't need it. Just kind of he can step in and hit a home run, but he can also pass the mic.
Absolutely. And you got great co-stars in this thing. We're both golfers, and I had a chance to play golf with Michelle Moynihan a long time ago. She's amazing.
She's lovely.
Yeah,
she's so
just
great.
Amazing talent. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
You let's talk about golf for a second. You guys both are big golfers.
Oh, we love it. How about you?
I'm a golf junkie.
Really?
I played
Yeah.
this morning.
That's how bad it is for him.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. Are you a golfer?
Love it. Love it.
Oh, that's
sort of
awesome.
got bitten hard by the bug, maybe like a year or two pre-COVID.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good time to get bit
that's
because
like-
you had time to do it.
Yeah.
totally.
So do you
Yeah.
play? How do you like? When I lived in New York, I didn't have a car, and I just couldn't get out anywhere. And Chelsea Piers didn't come along until a little later, and it was always such a pain in the ass to hump the clubs around. So how do you get out? Do you have a place out there?
Well, first of all, we live in Brooklyn. When I lived in like the city on the Upper West Side, I used to throw my clubs over my shoulder and get on the 1 train all the way to Van Cortlandt Park, and then play. It's the country's oldest public course, you may know.
Yes, I've heard that, but I've never been there.
I did not know that.
It's a good time. And then now out in Brooklyn, there's a couple of courses that are within driving distance, and we do have a car out here, so
Okay.
it's certainly easier now out here than it was like you said, living in the city. Who can do that?
So yeah,
I love that you're playing. So do you have a handicap? Just out of curiosity, yet?
I think it's probably lapsed at this point. It's like low teens. I would say it's like 13.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
13s are dangerous,
They're dangerous 'cause they
to
can-
bet with.
Especially because they get a lot of strokes, but then they can
can
play
hit-
poorly or they can play lights out.
You can hit shots, and that's the most dangerous person to play.
Yeah,
Yeah. What are you guys?
crazy man over here. He's like a,
No, don't
He's a-
say it.
he's a
I'm
5
I'm a
handicap.
5 right now.
and I'm a 9.
He's a 9.
So, but I used to love being a 12 because like Darren was just saying is I could play some days
Yeah.
better than a 12.
You know what? I mean, the thing about golf is you could never beat the game, so you're always chasing the game, and you can only try to better yourself, and I love that about the game, and when you give strokes and you even the playing field with whoever you're playing with, it's always a fair fight.
Yeah.
It's the best game.
It is. We love it. And I imagine down in Florida, you got to play some golf. I would hope.
Yes. Although here's a interesting fact about the Florida Keys. There is a lot less golf down there than you might think. Like
That's true.
in Key West, there's one course that I did play. I wore that thing out. But there isn't a ton, a variety.
When
But
did you shoot? When like what season? Tell me it wasn't summer.
It was not. Thank goodness. I think my last thing that I shot there was summertime, which is not necessarily when you want to be in Florida, but the bulk of it was like early spring and spring.
Good.
And
That's
you
a nice time.
you have a young daughter,
I do.
and I say that because I ask you. I'm curious how much you actually get to go golf with a young one in the house.
I mean, the nannies take care of, I mean, we have a team of 10, 15 nannies to just,
Smart.
so
Smart.
Smart.
I haven't seen her in a couple weeks, but I assume everything's fine, and I've been working on my game.
That's so smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
dang it.
A lot of people, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm just going to leave. I'm glad to hear you say that. That's fantastic.
It's nice to hear the refreshing reality of stardom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I'm happy
that's
to give you the full scoop. Well, I will say so we go up to the Adirondacks a lot, and there's sort of a, little rustic course up there that's near where we go. And my daughter now, whenever we go up, she's first thing out of her mouth in the morning is, "Daddy, can we go golfing?"
No way.
So
You're
she
winning.
rides with me. It's great.
You're
Everybody-
winning. You're a good dad. You're a good dad.
Dude, you know what?
You're doing it right.
Whatever you're feeding your child, please bottle it and sell it because you'll make trillions of dollars. For kids to just go, "Dad, can we go golf?"
And then you look at your wife and you go, "You heard her."
I want to be a good dad.
Yeah.
What
I don't
can
want
I
to
do?
say no. I got to
Yeah.
do it.
That's amazing. So
Then when she gets
Rob-
more specific, it might be harder to sell. That when she goes, "Dad, can we go work on your 5-iron?" And
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it if she's a good coach, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not too precious. Rob, I was in Kansas City actually a couple times in the last few years and have gotten to play a couple of real nice courses out there. There's
they
some
have
good,
a couple.
good golf
Yeah.
out
They have a few. That's awesome. I'm so glad you got to spend some time in
Mission
KC.
Hills?
Yes, gorgeous out there. Mission Hills is surrounded by very beautiful homes, and it's a very nice part of town. It's
Indian Hills, both.
Indian Hills, another great one.
Are you guys talking fancy golf?
We're talking fancy golf.
All right.
Friend of a friend brought me out. Thank you, BJ. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a BJ.
Yeah. What?
Wait. You know what I mean.
I'm glad you got to play some of the more premier courses in Kansas City. Whenever I get back, I'm always hitting up friends for. So you still a member out of there? Yeah, come on. You know,
Yeah.
That's
I'm not
amazing.
even subtle about it anymore.
Would you ever consider living in Florida full time?
I would say no. I mean, when I am old.
No taxes, man. No taxes.
Sure, taxes, sure. And,
Come on.
when I am really slowing down and not able to walk all that great in, a year, 2, 3, whatever, maybe I'll go down there. For now, Brooklyn is it for me. But
So you've really embraced it.
love it. Absolutely.
Did it take you any acclimation time? Because I was a Midwesterner myself, and when I got to New York, I think it was really hard for the first couple of years for me to get to go with the grain. I was going against it, and I found myself butting heads with the city for a couple of years, and then finally, it just clicked, and it got awesome. And then I fell in love with the city. So
Yeah. I could understand how that would happen coming straight from the Midwest, but I moved to LA first. So I was there for 2 years, kind of going against the grain there, butting my head, against the wall there and missing seasons and all that kind of stuff. And so when I had the opportunity to move here, I was like, absolutely. I'd kind of always wanted to live here because my mom was born and raised here. My dad had lived here for a long time. My parents met in New York. Yeah. 2 out of my 3 sisters were born in Brooklyn. So it's like, it's in my blood.
Sure.
And I was so happy to move here. And then, when we moved and we loved Manhattan, living there, but it is fast and it's a lot, becomes a lot. So when we moved to Brooklyn like a year and a half ago, it sort of reset the whole experience for us. And we were like, oh, this is amazing. Great place to have a kid.
Yeah.
We absolutely love it.
What was it about LA? So you came to LA. What was it that you felt like you were swimming upstream, do you think?
Well, for one thing, I mean, I had gotten to a place in Chicago where for the most part, I was at least, I wasn't making good money, but I was paying my rent either teaching improv or comedy in some capacity, performing it, maybe doing the occasional commercial. I would do like corporate gigs. I was like making my living, such as it was, from the career that I wanted. And then I moved to LA kind of on the heels of doing like a sketch comedy pilot that then I literally, my then fiance, then girlfriend when we moved to LA, now wife, we had decided to move to LA regardless of whether the pilot got picked up or not. And then we sort of did this big, European adventure, she was doing a job in Germany. So we're doing this great trip as like a last hurrah before moving to LA. And then I think 2 days before we left Germany, I got word oh yeah, that pilot that you just spent the last 3/4 of a year making, it's a hard no. And so I was like, well, we're going anyway. So we moved there, and I thought, well, just get ready for Alex Moffat, Los Angeles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I love that fire.
Wait till they get a load of me. And then it was slow, Phil. I also thought, oh, this pilot that I just did, that's going to open every door in town. Yeah. And I was off by a little bit. So I got to LA, and it was like everything sort of ground to a halt. I then was just looking around for I had 15 different odd jobs I was doing. None of them were even tangentially related to comedy or performing. So it was just everything reset, and it was a bit of a a ego check. It was a lot of things, and it was just like it was tough. It's a hard town if you're not working. The other thing about it is like anywhere you go and everybody you talk to seems to be just like
Killing it.
everything's gravy.
Yeah,
The
dude.
friends are
No,
like,
no.
yeah, we just pitched such and such to J.J. Abrams' company. It's either going to be them or Amblin, and we're not sure. And I was like, geez, I guess I'm the only one in this town who can't who can't even get arrested.
Well, clearly.
I hear you so clearly on that. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I guess it comes down to I think everybody's full of shit.
You know what?
Because maybe they did pitch somebody something, but it wasn't all these A-listers, and it definitely is. It's not pending. It didn't happen.
So dude,
I know that now.
Yeah.
I'm from here. I'm born and raised here, and I would see people come in, and it would chew them up, and they would ended up going like a lot of people. They're like, I'm gonna do it, whether they wanted to be a musician or an actor or whatever. And I lived here, so this was home. I could always go home and all
But
that.
you saw them cycle through.
I saw a lot of like, oh shit,
Yeah. I think Hollywood is full of
It's ruthless.
young. Every small town in America has their star. That high school. I was the lead of every play I was ever in. And then they come here chasing their dreams. God bless. That's what you do. You should do it. But this town can eat you up.
It's
Sure
It's
can.
rough.
Yeah, it sure can. But then after 2 years, you were like, okay, enough of this. We're going to New York.
Close.
Okay.
So I moved to New York with for SNL. So
Okay.
I was in LA for, like I said, 2 years, and then summer of 2016, I was back in Chicago for like some family stuff. And I was sitting in my agent's office in Chicago, Marisa, who is still she's my Chicago agent, and I love her to death.
Love that.
She's shout out Marisa Panessa. And I was sitting in her office, and she was like, hey, SNL's coming to town next week or later this week, one of those two. You want me to see if I can get you in the showcase? And I was like, yes, please, do what you can.
Yeah.
And so she reached out to the owner of IO, who promptly said, like, they've seen him and they've passed. It's now. I don't think it's the right fit.
Wow.
And Marisa was like, well, I think he's good. I think he's ready, maybe ask them. And she was like, they've said no like 5 times, which she wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
To be fair, I had auditioned a few times. I had even been flown out for meetings, and it had been a hard pass each time. So she was not off, but thank God for Marisa. I think she sent flowers and edible arrangements to the owner of the theater and said, just call someone from the town office and see if he'll take another look. So she did. They said, sure, we remember him. We'll take another look. So I auditioned with 20 other people at one of those cases at the IO Theater in Chicago, which is a place I hold near and dear. I love the place.
Yeah.
And so then the next day I was so the reason that I had been back in Chicago is it had been like 10 years since my mom had passed away. So my older sisters and I basically were throwing this like anniversary of life. That's not it. Celebrate 10-year anniversary celebration of life party to sort of honor our mom and just have an excuse to like see all her old pals and book club buddies and stuff like that. So
Right.
the next day I'm in my sister's backyard in Chicago, and Marisa had been trying to call me on my cell phone, couldn't reach me, tried my wife, couldn't reach me. Then like through a friend of a friend of a friend, found my sister's landline and called, and then finally got a hold of me and was like, where have you been? I've been trying to reach you. Lauren wants to have a drink with you. So I was like, all right, well, my wife's gonna, Caroline's gonna have to drive me downtown because I've had a couple of beers and I'm not gonna drive. So anyway, she drove me down. I had a drink with Lauren and Higgins and Kenward and a bunch of other people from the show. That seemed to go fine. That was, just kind of a little get to know you, make sure I'm not a full-on psycho test.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like, great, nice to meet you. See you when we see you.
Yeah.
And then I screen tested a few weeks later, and then I got the job. But anyway, so I had been living in LA, And then, so I got the job at SNL on a Friday. I was still in New York. I flew back that day to LA. The next morning at 8 a.m. was teaching a speed reading class at an office park near LAX.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then the next day I moved to New York. So it's
That's amazing.
Okay,
so that's how I moved to New York.
the
That's
takeaway
awesome, by the way. What a journey. What a journey.
the takeaway is you can speed read.
You would think so. But in this case, no. I'm glad that that's the takeaway from that. And I should just say, yeah, I'm amazing at it.
I'm amazing.
No, it was, again, like I said, I had 15 different weird side jobs, and that was one of them. A friend of mine who I'd done improv with in Chicago, who was also in LA, had this random job. They were looking for new teachers. They trained me on the technique and how to teach it.
Dude,
And so I teach these long classes that were 10 times longer than they needed to be. So, yeah.
your story is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love that it ends with this, the phone call, the track down, the phone call, and the screen test, or the meeting, and then the screen test. Then you got it.
I love that your agent got in the room and fought for you. I love that. I love that.
I owe her my whole career. I adore her so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, and she believes in you, clearly. Because agents and managers, they don't hook and jab unless they believe in their guy or gal. So
True. I owe her an edible arrangements.
Yeah, I like edible.
yeah,
I still, because again, like a lot of these, theaters where people get seen for shows like that, you kind of have to be in the faves clique of the theater owner or something like that, and I just wasn't. But my lovely Marisa went to bat for me, so it was pretty big time.
that's awesome.
I love that.
That's really wonderful.
Bob, what was how did you come to work on the show?
I was at the UCB Theater in New York for 7 years. Doing what everybody else was doing, grinding. Taking classes, teaching improv teams, sketch shows, all of it. And I was very lucky. I had Amy Poehler, Matt Besser, Ian Roberts, Matt Walsh as my teachers. So I was very, very fortunate to learn from them. And I had a great peer group, Paul Scheer, Rob Hubel, Jack McBrayer, just really wonderful, Jason Mantzoukas and Owen Burke, and just wonderful group of people that I was able to kind of come up with and learn and grow with. And eventually I got an audition, made it to the, 30 Rock, where you go out on the stage and do your thing for the people in Burbank. I guess screen test. And
Wait a minute. Is that really? Are there people watching in Burbank live?
Big time. That's right.
Okay.
That's
Maybe
all those.
I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Well, you remember Jenna? Was it Jenna? The floor of the stage manager. Yeah. So Jenna's the best. She's the sweetest person on earth, and I love her because she was standing next to the camera when I was doing my thing, and she was laughing, and she was giving me something when nobody in there.
Right.
And the people that were in there were Lauren, and at the time Tina, and I think Andrew Steele and Higgins and Shoemaker, and all these folks were in there. But they had already seen the thing the night before, so they weren't necessarily laughing. And they warned me. They said, "Hey, no one's in here. We saw it last night. Don't be alarmed if nobody's laughing. We still love it. Just do your thing." But it was that one camera that was on was being pumped straight to Burbank for a room full of executives, for all the C-suite.
How do I not know that is how that? Of course, that's how that works.
Yeah. So I didn't get it the first year. The first year they hired Keenan and Finesse, and I didn't get it. And then the next year I was the only one hired. So
Gotcha.
So I was kind of in my that class, every freshman class or whatever. It was just one. It was me. It was me and 15 cast members, and I was like, "Hi, everybody.
Hey, new guy."
That's a small freshman class.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was great. It was a dream come true. I wouldn't. I would change a few things, but I wouldn't change. At the same time, I wouldn't change anything. So that's that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Alex, what's the What's the goal for you? Is it TV? Is it
Probably
features?
a 4 handicap. What were you going to say?
That's the great
That's
goal.
so good.
It's a great goal.
That's a great goal.
What is it? Feature films? Is it TV? Is it writing? Is it directing, producing, or is it just
All
being
of
a
the
dad,
above.
or all of the above?
All of the above. I mean, numero uno is probably the last thing you said. I mean, I'm having a ball, with this little peach that we got, who's 3.5. It's the greatest. Do you guys have kids?
Yeah, I've got a college junior and a high school junior.
I have a 21-year-old. Oh, she'll be 21 on Friday.
Whoa.
And then my son is 18.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Has it just flown by?
Dude.
In the blink of an eye, dude.
Like that.
In the blink of an eye.
Like I
and
seriously,
it's not even a cliche.
I think about it. I think about how old they are now, and all I have in my head are little windows of memories, and I go, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that, and now we're here today.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a lot of pictures and a lot of videos. You'll be so glad you did.
Yeah.
Because I go back now and look at them when they're little and we were playing.
Oh,
and I hear
God.
their little voices and it's the best.
And that's when they were cute and not jerks.
Yeah, the teenage years are quite a handful, man.
That's what I hear. That's legendary for that.
Yeah.
But that's been just the absolute greatest thing that's ever happened. So
this show you're doing, Bad Monkey, this is going to be, I mean, it's Apple TV. It's exciting. You got the people involved are just A-list, yourself included. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited. I hope this thing just keeps going and going and going. I hope it's one of those long-running shows that wins Emmys. And, I hope it sounds like it's already shaping up.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, God willing, it'll have a run. I had a blast doing it. I agree. Everybody involved is just like top of their game. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed. We shall see.
Yeah, that's pretty special. And Apple TV is such a great platform. It's such a great platform. They when they pick a show and they do a show, it's just there's a standard. It's like a Rolex. You just know it's a standard of quality. So yeah, it really is. I think that's going to help it a lot too. I think it's going to help it a lot.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And Bill Lawrence certainly has a good track record. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
we shall see.
Yes. Yeah. You really are.
Good TV.
It's a murderer's row. You got a lot of good things going there.
I agree. It is a murderer's row.
Well, dude, it's so nice to meet you in person.
Yes, in person on camera.
In person on camera, in person on camera. But to finally meet you face to face, it's really.
Great to meet you. I've been a fan for a while. This has been cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you, and then right back at you. It's really nice to see you and meet you and get to talk with you and learn a little bit more for sure. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Count me in. I'm already going to be a Bad Monkey fan.
I'm Bad Monkeying
I'm
tonight.
Bad Monkey.
Come on out.
All right.
Come on out as though it's being taped live. Yeah, come on out to the next Bad Monkey taping.
We'll be right there, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Alex, thank you, man.
Thank you so much for taking time to join us. I really appreciate it, dude.
My pleasure, guys. Pleasure. Really good to meet you.
Nice
You
to
too.
see
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Good
Go
looking
Bears.
dude.
I know. I like him.
I like him too.
I like him a lot.
You
He's nice. He's charming. He's talented.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm excited for this show.
I'm not
I
BSing.
love the cast.
Yep.
I love.
I am gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He's not on right now. I'm watching it.
Exactly. I'm in.
Yeah, man. That was cool.
Yeah.
I love you.
Man, thanks. Right back at you, bro.
I don't think people say it enough.
You're right. They don't.
I'm just throwing it out.
Thanks, man.
I love you guys too. Well, not you, Ken.
Wow, that's so specific.
He knows what he did.
Okay. All right. Claire, anything, any outstanding business before we sign off?
Nope.
I mean, that's pretty cut and dry.
You know, Claire is a no-nonsense
She's
person.
no nonsense. Or she's got a meeting.
You think she does?
She's got not a meeting, but she's either got a nail appointment, tanning bed. She's big into tanning beds. Big tanning bed.
Wow.
Big tanning bed. Big fingernail.
Mm-hmm.
Mani pedi.
Mani pedi.
Tanning booths.
Massage.
Massage and
Facial.
She loves facials.
She's gonna go get her T-zone exfoliated.
Are you going to get your T-zone exfoliated?
You know me.
It sounds like Claire.
Yep.
You just described her to a T-zone.
Zone.
Dude, this has
See,
been...
that's a good dad joke right there. You just did dad work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love dad jokes.
We know this.
I know.
And you're good at them.
I'm gonna come in hot on the next episode, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freak you out with dad jokes.
Oh, snap. I know you got a bunch of them.
Dude, I don't. You know what? Right now I'm blanking.
Well, I'm not trying to put you on the spot either. I know a guy in Kansas City, nice guy, pretty wealthy guy, plays golf, gives to charity, nice guy. But he honestly has memorized somewhere around 200 jokes.
I love that.
And I think he actually catalogs them in his mind. Like, I can go 46, and he goes, Irishman walks into a bar, and I can go 52.
No way.
I really think, his mind works like that.
Wow.
But he has them memorized, and he's a good storyteller, too. So, and they're all storytelling jokes. It's not like one-liners.
I love that.
So, it's really impressive, actually.
That's cool.
I know. It was one of those skills. I was like, that's a pretty darn good skill, man.
Let's do a dad joke episode.
Okay. I mean, I don't know any.
Well, we can research.
Okay. Hey, send them in.
Ooh, what's your favorite dad joke?
Yeah, send it in, and we'll say it. We'll say it live on the podcast.
We'll say it live on the podcast, and then we'll broadcast the podcast. Oh God, dude, I'm sorry.
God, you're dad. You're so dadding out right now.
I know, dude. But you know what? I'm a dad. That's what you get.
So that's your privilege.
Yeah, it's my right.
That's right.
It's my obligation.
What's up?
Come on.
Play it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
We'll catch you next time.